And one of those things that was coming up for me was that quiet desire to be a minister. It was like, what is this? Y'all like my shirt? Welcome to the Ryan Hope Travis podcast, where we talk about God, art, and the importance of pursuing our dreams intentionally. I want to say welcome back if you've been here before, welcome if you haven't, and if you're just passing through, what's up? So today, y'all, I'm double dipping. We originally moved to Georgia from New Jersey. It was a couple of things that we had to learn quick. And one of them was some of the terminology. And the first time we went to a grocery store, this was like in the early 90s, we were headed into the Piggly Wiggly. And somebody said, "You want a buggy?" We didn't quite have our ears attuned to the Southern slang. Me and my sister was like, "Yeah, we want one." And it ended up being a cart. Another one was double dipping. I mean, you know already, like it's going around, you take turns getting whatever. Everybody gets one and somebody gets two. They double dipping. And I'm sure everybody knows that. At the time we didn't. Today I am double dipping. By the time many of you see this, I'll already be ordained as a Reverend. But for a good chunk of folk, this video will serve as my why. So at my ordination service, which is going to happen in a couple of days, a couple of days, y'all. This is serving as my talk for the people who are there supporting me. And also it's my introduction as to how I got to this ministerial journey. So listen, y'all, you know that your family loves you because they see something in you that you don't even, there is no evidence for it. An example is, ever since I was a kid, so my nickname was Fat Man. Ever since I was a kid, it would be like, "Come on, Rye, go ahead and pray." And it would be like, "Rye gonna be the pastor. Rye's gonna be a pastor." And y'all, there was no evidence of that, because when I remember my sister and I, we were in the children's choir and we would be singing, and whenever it would come time for me to do anything on the mic, let alone pray, I would cry. It was just what I did. So if you handed me the mic, I could get out, "Dear G," and then boom, I'm crying, right? And my sister was swooping. It was like she was my right hand. The same one who asked me to marry her. She would swoop in, take the microphone, and finish the prayer. But nobody stopped giving me the microphone. It wasn't like, "Oh yeah, here's that kid who always cries, let's not give it to him." It was like, "No, let's give him the mic. He could do it this time." Anyway, there was no evidence of me being a minister or anything like that without just pure love and light seeing that inside of me. My family, my sisters and I, we grew up in a single family household. And my mom, she rocked it. She raised my sisters and I by herself. And what that did for me was I had to step into what being the man of the house looked like really early. And it wasn't anything that was asked of me, but I was clear that my mom needed me, my sisters needed me in a way that I could show up. And so I would just, I was a kid and I was aware of locking the door, and I wanted to wear shoes that I could fight in. I mean, thankfully I never had to fight, but I was just aware of, there was a maturity inside of me that did not come from anywhere but source, but from God, right? And growing up in the household, I began to appreciate things that other kids probably didn't. The dreams that I remember aren't the scary ones, it's the ones that I saw a glimpse at what I was going to do. I had many dreams along the way where I would just be preaching, and y'all, I ran from it. Like straight up, I got to college and I changed my major 4 times. I remember when I was a sophomore year in college, and I was telling my mom what I wanted to do, and I was like, "I want to be a motivational speaker." And she was like, you got to do something before you motivate people. You got to have something to say. And I was like, man, mom, no. But it's so much wisdom in that, in order to motivate anybody, you have to be tapped in to not only your experience, but also a clarity that's coming beyond your mind, right? Which is God. I was actually looking in the seminary then, right? And the only reason why from freshman year I didn't transfer into a seminary at the time is because it was too expensive, right? I didn't see how I could afford that. And on top of it, I was going through my own untethering of how I understood God. I had God contained in a box. I had God contained in man form up in the sky in what we call heaven, ready to punish us. I heard a preacher say, ready to roast you when you don't do something right, and I had to untether myself from that image of God. And shout out to my sister. She came to me and she was like, Rye, I want to ask you something. I said, what's up? She was like, can you marry me and Gary? And I was like, yes, absolutely. The how, I didn't have any thought about how I was going to be an officiant, what official paperwork, what process I had to go to. I was like, yes. Fast forward, everything worked out. My sister ended up going to the courthouse and they got legally married there. And I was still the officiant of the ceremony. And so I was able to do that. And then I could also kind of slow my pace and really just be present with the materials in my lessons. So I didn't have to race through, but she inspired it for sure. The first question is why? After just opening up to the universe and being clear about what's mine, I was aligned with a clear understanding of what I was to do, which was to minister. I had to look it up the other day. What does minister even mean? What's that definition mean? It means to nurse. It means to serve. It means to give. It means to heal. It means to lift up and to inspire. And I'm like, whoa. The idea of minister is not just preaching, which is a part of it, right? It's doing the things when nobody will bear witness to it, right? It's those phone calls at 4 a.m. when somebody's struggling with addiction, right? It's the quiet moments when you're meeting a client or a congregant and they're confiding in you, with a devastating secret, right? And we're holding space. And so it's been an incredible journey, revealing, opening, that got me here. And so 10 months later, I'm to be ordained. Sally and I, we take this prosperity class. We sign up for this class because we think it's going to be helping us with financial management or budgeting. One of the things that Mary Moisey said was to honor the hopes and longings. And one of those things that was coming up for me was that quiet desire to be a minister. It was like, what is this? I had to just face it full on. I remembered that there were these little marks in my life where I saw this was what I desired. I gotta give a special shout out to my mentor, Jane Weed Roy, who guided me through this process and will continue to be my mentor even way past, this ordaining process. My hope as a reverend, as a spiritual teacher for this platform is to help people feel validated in their experience and that they are a part of that divine expression we call God, divine love, that they are emanations of that source, that light, that no matter what you're going through, you will make it. In fact, it always works out. no matter if it didn't work out the way you thought it would, it always works out. I just wanted to make this video to say, I'm here. I'm coming out. I'm a reverend. Let's go. All right, y'all. It's good connecting. I'll see you on the other side. Peace.